Look, I want to explain this to you in a simple and honest way because most people never really think about aging in this way until they already feel worse than they should. For a long time, I thought aging was mainly about how you look wrinkles, gray hair, maybe gaining some weight. That's what everyone focuses on. But the real changes don't start there. They start much deeper, especially in your muscles, and almost nobody talks about that. What usually happens is very subtle. You don't suddenly feel weak, you just start feeling more tired than before. You recover slower, your body feels heavier, stairs feel harder, long days drain you more. And you think it's normal, you think it's stress, work, age, life. But very often it's your muscle slowly disappearing. And the problem is that when muscle starts going down, everything else follows. Your energy drops, your metabolism slows, your blood sugar gets harder to control, inflammation increases, and even your brain and mood are affected. It's not something dramatic. It's something that builds quietly over years. Most people don't connect these things. They don't think, I feel tired because I've lost muscle. They just think, this is how life is now. And that's what makes it dangerous because they never try to fix it. For many people, this process starts much earlier than they expect. Not in their 70s, not when they're old. It often starts in their 30s, little by little without any warning. You don't feel sick. You don't feel broken. You just feel slightly worse every year and you adapt to it. Muscle is not just something you use to lift things or go to the gym. It's one of the main systems that keeps your body working properly. Your muscles help regulate how you use energy, how you handle sugar, how your hormones behave, how much inflammation you have, and even how well your immune system works. Think about muscle like the engine of your body. When the engine is strong and well maintained, everything runs smoothly. When it gets weaker, the whole system struggles more and more. Let's talk about energy because that's one of the first things people notice. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have energy all day while others feel exhausted by the afternoon? It's not just sleep. It's not just coffee. A big part of it is muscle. Muscle is full of tiny structures that produce energy. The more muscle you have, the more energy you can produce. When you lose muscle, that capacity goes down and you feel it every day. That's why many people start relying more and more on caffeine. They wake up tired, drink coffee, feel okay for a while, then crash again. They think they have an energy problem, but very often they have a muscle problem. Another huge part of this is blood sugar. Every time you eat carbohydrates like bread, rice, fruit, pasta, or sugar, it turns into glucose in your blood. That sugar has to be absorbed by your cells. And the main place where it goes is your muscles. Muscles act like storage units for sugar. If you have good muscle mass, your body handles sugar easily. If you've lost muscle, there's less space for that sugar, so it stays in your blood longer. When that happens over and over again, your body has to release more insulin. Over time, your cells stop responding well. That's insulin resistance. And insulin resistance is one of the biggest drivers of aging. It increases inflammation, damages blood vessels, stresses organs, and messes with hormones. So when you protect your muscles, you're also protecting your metabolism. This is why body composition matters much more than weight. Two people can weigh exactly the same. One feels strong and energetic, the other feels tired and stiff. The difference is muscle. Muscle burns energy. Fat stores energy. Muscle improves insulin sensitivity. Excess fat makes it worse. Muscle reduces inflammation. Excess fat increases it. So when muscle goes down and fat goes up, aging speeds up. Muscle also plays a big role in hormonal balance. As muscle declines, hormones related to repair and recovery tend to decline faster. Testosterone drops, growth hormone drops, and the body becomes less efficient at fixing small damage. That's why injuries take longer to heal, why fatigue lasts longer, and why people feel off more often as they get older. What many people don't know is that muscle also affects the brain. When you use your muscles, they release substances that travel to the brain and support memory, focus, mood, and resilience. Movement literally feeds your brain. That's why people who stay physically active tend to stay mentally sharper. And that's why physical frailty and cognitive decline often appear together. It's not a coincidence. Your immune system also depends on muscle. During illness, injury, or stress, your body uses protein from muscle to support immune responses. If you don't have enough muscle, you recover slower, get sick more easily, and stay weak longer. Muscle is part of your biological defense system. So when muscle slowly disappears, a lot of systems start weakening at the same time. Energy goes down, metabolism worsens, Inflammation rises. Hormones weaken. Brain support declines, immunity drops, strength disappears. All of this happens gradually, which is why most people don't realize what's going on. Modern life makes this worse. We sit a lot, we move less. We spend hours in front of screens. We drive instead of walking. We use machines instead of our bodies. Muscle adapts to demand. If you don't use it, your body slowly stops maintaining it. Protein intake also becomes more important as you age. As you get older, your body becomes less sensitive to protein, which means you need slightly more to stimulate muscle repair. Many people don't adjust their diet, so muscle breakdown slowly exceeds muscle repair. Stress plays a role too. Chronic stress increases hormones that break down muscle. Poor sleep makes it harder for your body to repair tissue. Inflammation eats away at muscle over time. All of these factors work together. Now let's talk about exercise because people often overthink this. You don't need extreme workouts. You don't need to live in the gym. You need some form of resistance. You need to challenge your muscles regularly. That can be weights, bands, machines, or body weight. 2 or 3 sessions a week is enough if you're consistent. What matters is not intensity, it's regular stimulation. Daily movement matters too. Walking, carrying groceries, using stairs, standing more instead of sitting all day. These small things send signals to your body that muscle is still needed. Supplements can support this process, but they are not magic. Protein, vitamin D, magnesium, omega-3, and iron if you're deficient can help, but they don't replace movement and proper nutrition. They support the foundation, they don't create it. There's also a psychological side to muscle and aging. When you feel strong, you feel capable. When you feel capable, you're more confident. You move more, you socialize more. You stay engaged with life. When you feel weak, you tend to withdraw, avoid activity, and isolate yourself. That accelerates decline. Muscle indirectly protects mental health. So what does aging well really mean? It doesn't mean looking young forever. It means being able to live your life. Traveling without fear. Getting up from the floor. Carrying bags, playing with kids. Thinking clearly. Staying independent. That's real youth. And muscle is the foundation of it. The strategy to protect muscle is simple, even if it's not always easy. Eat enough high-quality protein every day. Use your muscles regularly with resistance training. Stay physically active, sleep well, manage stress. Correct nutrient deficiencies if you have them. You don't need perfection, you need consistency. And here's the most hopeful part. It's never too late. Muscle responds at any age. Studies show that people in their 70s and 80s can still build muscle. You're not too old, you're just understimulated. If you remember one thing from this video, let it be this. Muscle is not about vanity, it's about freedom. It's about independence. It's about quality of life. Protect your muscles and you protect your future.